take. So stop playing with your boy. Stop acting like I never made changes for your sake. Why flipping the script on me? This your forte.
Welcome. Yo, it's the Coops, the Loops, the Boops, the Dupes. Ready to get more Druid Quest going in on here for you. We do have the Tiru cosplay. I forgot to mention that last time. And today we're doing even more of this Druid Quest, this Druid sensation sweeping the nation. Welcome to the playthrough. Thank you so much for stopping by, clicking on the video. And yes, we are going to be talking about caring. Sharing, caring, care bearing. But before we get into that, I'll discuss what we're doing gameplay wise over here on this story. This is a boss quest, so there will be a boss at the end. Be sure to stick around to the end to see me fight some crazy animals. But yes, during this one, we discover what's going on with Yoi for real, for really reals, and Yoi has a demon sleeping within them, of course, because who freaking doesn't? And the demon sleeping within them is looking to possess their body to revive or sort of give a pseudo revival of the Yang clan and help them progress to maximum strength level and wipe out the Yin clan. And that's because, you know, there's a sort of dichotomy within this Yin and Yang clan and the Druids, and all this to say that you need a sort of rivalry in order to have a real, you know, Druid nature about you. You know, you need the dichotomy of the good and the evil, the bad and the sweet, the salty and the saltine. And yeah, these guys provide that. But of course, the demons within them that are completely their own sort of crawl back into them. And that's how the evil forms. So we're going into this cave to see what's going on with Yoi. And then after we do that, and we discover that they do have the demons sleeping inside of them, our lovely friend actually gets possessed, trying to save them from them. Oh no! And so now the quest is to help Yoi, who was, you know, trying to take us away from them, because, you know, all the love that we were giving them last part really brought the demons out, as you can clearly see. Now our job through the rest of the mission is to help Yoi get our wonderful friend from the Yin clan unpossessed. And we try to go to Grandma, but this is where the title comes in. She cannot give two lesses of a shit because she's over here trying to provide solace for the Yang clan as well. So it's the olds of the Yang and the olds of the Yin who talk about this eternal rivalry, but in the end, they were always friends. And we'll see that in this other cutscene here. It's like the old and Yin and Yang clan. It's the friends. It's the closest of friends who are our biggest rivals. And that's essentially what was happening here. As we'll find out later in the story, Yoi was actually in love with the wonderful person that they got possessed here, Asasashi, who is a wonderful light. And it's usually the really dark and ambitious people who want to be the best, who are really attracted to people who are just pure light. And people who are just, I don't know, vibrant in that way. It gives off a sort of opposites attract kind of effect. And because Grandma won't help him, and because the Yang clan leader actually gave us a little tip off at the end of the next cutscene, we go to test our might against the spirits of the Druids that we did meet before. I forget what her name is. We test our might against her. And that's where the boss comes in. In order to, I believe it's in order to get a MacGuffin that's going to help us fight the spirits within Asasashi to get that evil thing out of her, so that she can rest and become her natural, vibrant, beautiful self, and she doesn't destroy her own clan. Because nobody would like to do that, right? I feel like, you know, just as people, we don't want to have to destroy our entire own clan, but if you gotta do a not Kakashi, but if you gotta do a not Ichigo, wow, you know what? I'm just gonna give it up. I'm just gonna give it up. I don't know the reference. I don't know the Naruto reference. It's leaving me right now. Yeah, I don't know why I wanted to say Ichigo, but I know, I'm pretty sure it starts with an I. Itachi, there we go. Okay. Goodness gracious. That took me too long to get, considering how much Naruto I've watched. But anyways, you don't want to have to do that. Now, I understand some people, aka a lot of people that I associate myself with, but a lot of people have cut off family, friends, and just feel the general need to be by themselves nowadays. I get that. I feel that. But on a general level, you don't want to cut your entire family off. It's just not a fun time. It's just not a good time. It's just not a fun time. It's not beautiful things that you want to be thinking about in your future, because in the end, our lives are all really just the relationships that we form. And you don't want to be cut off at level 1 and be like, ah, man, I can't go back to home base, essentially. And then you'll have to build a new home base. And it's never really going to be as good as the experience you got, back then. And I know a lot of people have us these horrible, horrible situations. And it's like, what has to be done, right? But if you can avoid it, I would implore you to avoid it. And that just all goes down to your capacity. So let's jump into our topics of today: the capacity to care, because I feel like that's what really stops this lady from giving a true effort to actually help and do things the right way. It's her capacity. A lot of people, you can't really knock them for doing the evil things, or bewitching, or just in general being a horrible person, because that is indeed their capacity. They're not being able to be filled that much. It's like when you have to constantly upgrade your stamina meter in Breath of the Wild. You get enough of the is it Koroks? I believe it's Koroks. It's one of the collectibles in that game. You get enough of those. Excuse me so much. Had a little yawn there. I'm getting a little tired. I love that these videos always do make me tired. It is a lot of yapping, so I usually use them before I go to bed. I did just take a nap before I did this one, so if I seem a little bit higher energy, a little bit good and wired, that's why. I don't think I'll put these on the MMO sleep because, well, we have our vocations playlist for these ones. But nevertheless, uh, I believe capacity is what, we need to upgrade. And a lot of people, they have a lot on their plate already. They got this to worry about, they got a job to worry about, they got family to worry about, they got this and this and this and this. And a lot of people just don't have the capacity to hold everything in a balance and care enough to solve this issue and that issue and that issue in a level-headed manner. Sometimes you're going to solve some issues unlevel-headedly, and you have to be okay with yourself and okay with your mistakes that you're going to make in between these processes of solving and unsolving and getting things right and getting things wrong. You're going to have to be okay with that, because that's the process of life. You're going to get some things right and you're going to get some things wrong. And I think for the most part, we are too hard on ourselves when it comes to caring about things and moving forward to the proper and right conclusion to our love or our, excuse me, I'm yawning again, or our friendships or our relationships. And we have to make the perfect, calculated, correct, right move every time. A lot of times people just want you to move as you are, as you am, and to do what feels like is right to you. That's what people really respect. It's not what would be perfectly right for them in their situation, or even what would be perfectly right to continue on in their relationship with you. But as long as it's the right thing for you, that's what people really respect. That's what people really want to see. And I know it's very weird to think that people want to see you being selfish. It's like, no, people want to see somebody who's out here trying to make a way for themselves. They want to see the hero's journey. And I feel like that's why we all watch shonen animes, because the shonen anime guys, they keep building up their capacity. It's just like Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's why we play those games. They keep building up their capacity. They keep getting higher and higher and having more and more reasons to care and having more and more people to carry on their back and having more and more stressors others, and they do it slowly, and they build and they craft a world for themselves and those around them that make people feel secure. And that's what we need to do as guys, as fellas, as dudes. We got to get in there and just never give up on the world that we believe should exist. Because I know there's a world that you guys think should exist, and it's not this one. It's not this one for me, guys. It's not this one. This ain't the one, okay? I can assure you that I have a vision for how I want the world to be, and it's a little bit different, you know? It's a little bit different as far as a lot of things that go in America, just America in general. But until we get that world that we all envision, we got to keep fighting. There's no way to stop fighting. It's all a way of life. A way of life, a way of breathing in this wonderful air of nature, of freshness. It's got to be your ninja way to breathe in more capacity, to become more, to be inspired to become more. And that's the thing, guys. You have to do it slowly. It can't be built on in a day. You know, you can't just build Rome and then immediately say, oh, okay, we're on to the next one. You have to do it slowly. You have to do it deliberately. And most importantly, you have to do it unapologetically. Because you can just discard these people's opinions. You got to realize that so many people will not be on this journey. So many people will not try to upgrade, to change, to alter their beings. And this is why I love MMOs, because I can relate this to real life so easily. And it's because it's what real life is supposed to be. It's supposed to be an MMO. It's supposed to have you grind and get different skill sets and moves and make new friends and combine these groups and make connections until you are the guild master of the entire freaking universe. That's what life is supposed to be. But it's not. It's not, because we are holding back our expression. You know, we're holding back, and I think that's a big me thing. I think that is a big me thing for sure. This is probably my biggest flaw, I'd say, is that I hold back a lot of my expression for fear of judgment. I don't even think judgment is a bad thing nowadays. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like we all have to judge. You know, judging is a required part of life. It's like you can't get around judging other people or judging life. Right here, we have this a sexy demon druid lady who is judging us using dogs, using these fat doggy boys, and fat demon dog boys will judge us in order to see who is strong, who is weak. Now, what I really wish they did was they allowed us to fight in the castle courtyard, but they don't. They actually give us a different battlegrounds for us as we're fighting in the Druid domain, as I like to call it. But yeah, it would have been cool if we were fighting in the courtyard. You do get Yoi here as a party member, though, which I think is really cool. Yoi basically just has the Druid moves. They are Druid class, so they're going to summon the healing one. And the thing about Druids is you can only have one spirit out at a time. So for the next boss that's in this Druid line, since we're going to have Yoi with us, I'm actually going to switch off of Druid. And I'm going to fight him as a different class. And we're going to have a new cosplays as well. I try to get away from these cosplays pretty quickly. Not to get into details, because I'm pretty sure they don't want me to get into details, but Ember Paradox did not like my cosplay. Well, it's not, I don't know if she didn't like it. Maybe she thought it was too good, but she just didn't want to be associated. So I switched off of this one a little bit. Shifted gears to a couple of different cosplays here. And we will not feature Ember Paradox on the channel, you know what I'm saying? Go follow her, do her thing, you know, if you want to go to her content. But we're not going to link to it here, because they don't want me to. So it's all good. And that's the thing, guys. I don't really know these people. I don't really have, you know, a huge laundry list of, you know, amazing calls in my pocket or anything. I'm just kind of going through and searching the content that I love and being inspired by it and making creations because of it, you know. And I love Ember Paradox's content, which is why I'm like not saying, you know, don't go follow her or anything. I'm like, no, go do it. Just, but like, we're not gonna link to it here, you know. And it's already made, recorded, you know, not posted yet, but just because the creations weren't acknowledged to be fantastic does not mean we need to stop. Okay, you can be respectful, and still show your care and capacity without being, you know, without going against other people's wishes and their privacy. And I feel like that's the main thing here, is to just look within yourself and really unapologetically just go for it. Just throw things against the wall. And like I said, it hurt a little bit. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. You know, I can't lie to you. You know, it hurt a little bit when they were like, oh no, don't include me here. You know, but that's okay. You need that hurt. You need that anguish within you. You know, you need to be tested this way, because without true pain, there is no true love, and that's what I'm really looking for. As cringe as it may seem, I'm looking for a reason to live. And the more and more I look deeper and deeper into that, I realize your reason to live is always going to be another. It's always going to be a connection. It's always going to be a bond. And so that is what we do here. We try to form bonds. We try to connect the dots. We try to unravel what is going on in this world and have more capacity to hold it. Because the more that you can hold, the more that you can fold. I'm just kidding. We're not folding, guys. Never, never, never will we fold. We are running through and doing what it do, and praying that we are able to survive another day. Thank you so much for stopping by. Subscribe if you want here. Subscribe anywhere to anywhere. Do your thing. Like the video if you want more people to see it. And I will see you next time. See you later, guys.
I'm a boy, baby, had to let you know it, baby. Thought you knew it. Chop down, screw it up. Guess I gotta slow it up for you this time. Yeah. Always thinking about you and I. Don't ever question if I'm down for you.